Hello. This is a quick little update. Well, it's not necessarily a quick update. This is an update about what's sort of happening with my channel and my life and my ways and what's going to be happening in the future. So, the way this is working with I've sort of been slow on making videos recently and covering all these sorts of topics, and it's because there's I'm really trying to finish off this whole big project that I've been working on for quite some time that I eventually want to showcase. So what's going to happen with the channel in the near future, next few months, or what's going to start happening, is what I originally planned for a while. What I'd want to do would be to basically any project, basically these videos that I make from time to time are, you know, they're small videos. Small in the sense that they don't represent any sort of big thing that I'm actually working on at the time. I don't consider these videos to be sort of the central idea for the content behind the channel. Despite the fact that this is all I've actually ever made, that's not how I actually see it. The way I see it, the way I've seen it, is I have these plans, I have these projects. I don't necessarily want to use the word project, but I have these ideas and these things that I want to build. And my effective idea was to, you know, build them here and demonstrate them and show them off. And I don't mean show them off in like a vain way, but explain what they are, show them, demonstrate them, you know, present them. Because if you don't present them, they're useless. But that is sort of that is sort of my whole plan. And for the big projects, the way this would work, these big presentations is, well, it would take a very long time to make them, and I'm not like interested in rushing them in any sort of way. I don't have that sort of mentality. It's like, oh no, you gotta make a video this week. It's YouTube. You gotta make a video. No, none of that shit. I don't have any intention to play by those rules, especially for the big stuff. The big stuff is done when it's done. You know, I don't take my time and be careful, because honestly what I find is that people rushing things ends up making them worse. Capitalism. But yeah, that's a thing that happens, and I just want to avoid that at every chance I get. And I know that this isn't a big channel or whatever, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters is I still want to use it in order to make these presentations and these projects, to show them off again, to put them out there for the world to see, to get them out there. You know, that's part of like how I do things. I think that the whole point of video making in general is, for me, is I have an idea, I want to get it out there. It's just like, I got to get it out there. I have this like free will video that I'm making, and you know, I got to get that idea out there, because it's just it's in there, and in there it's not doing anything, but out there it is doing something. So that's sort of the mentality. So the way this is going to work specifically is the big project in general is video game related, and this is where it's going to be a little bit of a slight shift. I know I've mentioned that this is not the channel has nothing to do with video games, and that is true in general. There's not going to be, this is not like a Let's Play channel or whatever. I know there's some YouTubers have made gaming channels. This isn't, and I've always said that I'm not going to separate them. I always want to keep one thing here. But that's the thing, is that this is not an actual Let's Play. This is not gameplay. This is not an actual this is not just a fiffy-foofy YouTube, hey, watch me play a game. It's not that. It's a thing that I've been working on in this game called Terraria, which it's kind of like Minecraft, but to say, it's like, people might think that that's stupid, but suffice it to say that I've put a lot of time working on it. I've put like over a year working on it, and I've invested enough time working in it that honestly it should be finished, but B, I need to I need to make something useful out of it. I can't just you know, it's a lot better if it's something that people could see. And I think it has genuine artistic value because of, you know, anti-bullshit man, this might sound silly to you, but trust me, I took this seriously, okay? When I actually put a lot of work into it, there was a lot of little things that I did, there's a lot of things that I built, a lot of small details that were added. I'm sure that at least people who are fans of the game, of Terraria, or just interested in that type of thing in general, it's like painting, basically. It's like showing off a thing that you've painted. Right? And I used to paint things, I'm not a painter, but it's kind of like that. So I want to show off this, you know, painting, computerized painting, I suppose, because I think there are generally some things in there that are inspirational, that might give other people some ideas that are useful, that are very interesting, in the very least, that merit some sort of contemplation and aesthetic merits some sort of aesthetic contemplation. Let's just put it that way. So that's what it is. And the fact that I've worked on it for a year is enough times, like, just believe me when I say, trust me when I say that this thing is worth presenting. This thing is worth seeing. Even if you're not interested in it, it is worth me presenting, which is why I'm going to present it here on the channel. And I'm going to present it, you know, somewhere over the course of the next few months. Now, the way this is going to work is the way I imagine these things would ever work in the future if I continue making them, is it's going to be called Completionist Terraria. It's going to be called Completionist because of what I mean by completionism. It's not completionism in a gameplay sense. Well, sort of. It's completionism in my own sense, as I defined it. And that's what the project is going to be called. That's what the series is going to be called. What it's going to be is there's going to be one video introducing it, and then there's going to be a handful of videos following that with the presentation, because the whole work is actually very big, and there's a lot to talk about, and a lot to go over, and a lot to show, and a lot to explain. And I hope, you know, so it's going to be a long process. The whole thing's almost done. It's very close to being done. Close enough to being done that you should see the first part of this thing show up somewhat soon. I've been very bad recently with guessing, you know, times at which I'd finish something. I'd be like, oh, it'll be done next week, and it's done like a month from next week. So I don't know. It might be done next month, November. It might be done December. It might be done in Christmas. You don't know. I don't know for sure when the first thing will show up. But it will show up. There's going to be a video explaining what the project is, and then subsequent videos. Like, there's going to be an introductory video, and then subsequent videos showing it, and then eventually concluding. And I think at most, like at least 5 videos in total. Right, I would need at least 1 introduction video and 4 videos presenting the thing, and then it's done. And I'm not going to do gameplay as well. It's like I'm not going to do Let's Plays on this channel. That's just not what I do. But if I ever do any video game related stuff, it would be in that type of format, or any gaming related stuff in general. I've also thought about like doing a D&D campaign and you know, talking about that a bit and presenting that here as well, because there's another YouTuber who does that, and I really like the way he does it. So it'd be my own thing and my own campaign, which put enough work into it. I think if I put enough work into it, I think it would be something very interesting. But that's a whole other thing that I've only really thought about. That's not really a real project. This project is actually real, and it's almost done, which is why I'm saying that it's actually going to show up here. So, you know, if you don't know anything about this and you don't care Terraria, that's fine. If you know what Terraria is, look forward to it. If you don't know what Terraria is, just don't be surprised when Terraria-themed content starts showing up. It's not the theme of the channel. The theme of the channel is more, again, theory and completionism and analysis and all that stuff. And these regular vlogs, they're going to keep coming. Because the way it works with these other vlogs is these are smaller projects, small ideas that I get that I have to just get out. And I still plan to use the smaller vlogs to develop certain philosophies and philosophical thinking, like complexitism, which I think has plenty of merit, as we'll see. I still have to make a video about anti-natalism, which is this thing that anti-bullshit man purports. I still have to make a video about that. I haven't actually read the thing yet, but I'm going to make a video about that. I made a video about free will fundamentalism based on something I've listened to recently that I'm going to present my ideas about that, but probably upload that today. There's also a video about the exchange value problem, another capitalist themed video, another anti-capitalist video. So, stuff like that. It's going to keep happening. It's, the way it works with the smaller videos is that they happen whenever I get an idea. And I get ideas pretty often, so they're going to keep happening so long as I get ideas, and in between bigger projects. At the same time, I'm also going to get back to doing aesthetic value analyses and aesthetic value ruminations and analyses of games and books and perhaps movies and shows and the like. Red vs. Blue Season 14 is almost done, and people have some requested, so I'm probably going to start doing a whole analysis of all of Red vs. Blue from the very beginning to the end, starting with like Blood Gulch Chronicles, and then doing the Reconstruction, Revelation trilogy, etc., and going all the way to the end once Season 14 is done. Season 14 isn't done yet, so I'm not going to do that until Season 14 is done, simply because Season 14 is sort of entrenched with the rest of the series, and I think it just makes more sense for me to know when Season 14 is done to really start talking about this. Because what Season 14 is doing is it's sort of like justifying certain things that have happened way, way back when in Season 1. So, you might see that happen eventually. In terms of this type of sort of informal content, the Terraria thing is going to be gameplay footage, which is why I say, and I'm probably going to film all that on Twitch and then upload it, which is why I say, be prepared for that, and don't be alarmed, and don't I don't have any intentions of making the channel more. I don't have any intention of pandering. Let's just put it like that. I try not to pander as much as I can. The Terraria thing isn't me pandering. It's really the fact is that this is a project that I actually believed in. I really enjoyed making it. Well, I used to enjoy making it. It was a lot of fun to make. It's something that's very interesting to me personally. It was interesting to make, which is why I want to show it off. It's not because, I want to get views or whatever, or anything like that. I don't have the intention of like falling in line with more popular kind of content for the sake of that a lot of other people make for the sake of getting views. I try to make sure that everything that's happening here is sort of intrinsic and less extrinsic. And the reason I'm bringing this thing up in general is because I plan. My hope is to eventually do with the channel is to use it in the way to present projects like this Terraria project, but not necessarily like it. Not necessarily in video games, but in some other things in general, like the D&D thing I brought up. And there's another project after that I started working on that I put off because of this one that is sort of... It's long overdue that I get back to it, but that is sort of a very sort of long-term plan. Can't imagine the first, updates on that will come until next year. So... there's not much I could say about that, but that is my big plan. Well, actually, that's not my big plan, but that is a big plan. That is to come after this Terraria thing is done, which I'm hoping to get it all done and grind out the last parts of the world, because it does take a lot of time, and a lot of it is fairly tedious work. And if I ever decide to do another completionist something. Gaming related thing, it would be something like the Terraria thing, and it would be called Completionist Minecraft or something. Maybe not Minecraft, because Minecraft, I don't want to do another block game after this, but it would be something like that, and it would be called Completionist X probably, and it would have some sort of theme to it, and I would be presenting the whole project and the whole purpose of the project. I have all these ideas is what I'm trying to say, and I want to present these ideas. And some of the ideas are wrapped up in these fairly complex, fairly sizable projects, and this Terraria thing is sort of the smallest of these and the first one, and it's gonna be coming fairly soon. So I'm just informing people about that, and to say that the rest of the content is still coming, and it's chill and it's swell, and stay tuned, and cheers. Farewell.